All that stuff we've been watching in Europe of all of the farmers and the protests, well, guess what? Here in the UK, keep watch. Welcome back, friends. Yes, we've got some stuff to go through, and it looks like we are on the brink of seeing the same here in the UK with the farmers and the protest. Without food, we're done. So what do we know about how sustainable the UK is right now? Let's have a little look into it and find out pretty much what is been going on and what is coming down the pipe. Now, big things are looking like they're coming down the road. I want to draw your attention to this. Furious British farmers now ready to march. We are seeing a growth in this movement. It's insane. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the links to all articles we're going to be going over underneath this video. So you're more than welcome. It's already started up in Scotland, apparently. Yes. Right, here we go. First, costs are spiraling. Farmers have faced steep rises in the cost of everything from fertilizer to wages and the energy used in production since the pandemic. Many farmers have left the sector altogether due to financial pressures. According to the National Farmers Union, the NFU, 5% of dairy farmers left the industry in 2022. Can you believe this? Half of fruit and veg farmers fear going out of business this year. There were estimated to be approximately 103,900 farmers working in the UK as of the second quarter of last year, compared to 111,300 in the previous quarter. I wonder what it is right now. British farmers have faced surging and fluctuating input costs from the war in Ukraine. The phasing out of an EU-era payment system, which helps sustain their income, and a spate of rural crime that police seem powerless to prevent or prosecute. Second, the supermarkets are still squeezing farmers and not buying enough British produce. Food and farming groups have expressed their dismay at the wafer-thin margins being left for primary producers once everyone else in the food chain has taken their share of the cash. Margins across whole food chain are tight, but processors and farmers suffer unnecessarily when the lion's share is kept by booming retailers. We have witnessed this, especially last year. Third, the government has been all over the place with its policies, not allowing farmers to plan ahead. 3 secretaries of state for DEFRA, Department of Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, in the space of 1 year have had different approaches to the UK farming sector, all by design. Absolutely not a coincidence there. The thought of the woke, townie-backed Labour administration on the way has many farmers pulling their hair out. Yes, let's hope that this does not happen with the elections coming up soon. The Australia and New Zealand trade deals have left farmers feeling shortchanged and angry with Boris Johnson, that lovely clown again. Recruitment these days is particularly difficult and for young. After a bit of resistance, now thinking twice about agricultural training courses and farming apprenticeships because they see UK farms under so much pressure. We are seeing exactly the same issues with the armed forces recruitment currently. We are seeing the same right now in the farming industry right now. Fourth, the UK's replacement subsidy scheme to the EU's Common Agricultural Policy, which saw direct payments made to farmers based on the amount of agricultural land they maintain, is unpopular. The new scheme pays farmers to provide public goods such as protecting nature and improving the environment. Now, we are going to look at this in a sec. This is extremely important and worrying at the same time. Ministers insist this will lead to a fairer system and help meet wider climate ambitions. Red flag right there. but farmers are skeptical and say the application process is complex and impractical, while take-up has been slow. No surprises there. Meanwhile, direct payments have been reduced and ended last year, replaced by de-linked payments, which stop completely in 2027. Did you hear that? Replace payments which stop completely in 2027. There will be no subsidies from 2027. Wow. So you're more than welcome to read this report. It's very, very interesting. It only come out the other day. Okay. I want to draw your attention to this as well, because all of this is absolutely relevant. In 2022, the #1 country of origin for the United Kingdom's lamb and mutton imports was New Zealand. Imports from Oceania came to a total of about 12.6 million metric tons of lamb from New Zealand and about 5.3 million metric tons from Australia. What the hell are we doing importing all this food? We should be growing our own food in our own country. That is the whole reason why the overwhelming majority of everyone in the UK voted to get away from the EU. That corrupt, unelected, bureaucratic nonsense pile of God knows what, telling us what to do, taking lots of money. They're unelected. We've done very well getting away from Europe. It's up to us to vote the right people to run the country so we don't end up in this mess. So what's happened? We have been lied to, cheated and schemed by the government ever since. And it's election year. So let's move on with more things about this farmer march, which is coming right down the road very soon. UK-Canada trade deal. The UK government has made the right decision. This is 2 days ago. Canada had reportedly been seeking a relaxation of the ban of hormone-treated beef, while the UK has concerns about the 245% import taxes Canada placed on British cheese at the start of this year. 245% import tax. Hormone-treated beef. Would you like to eat hormone-treated beef? I couldn't care less what the so-called experts say, that it's good for you and it's nothing wrong. Do you trust that? All I want to do is eat organic, grass-fed meat reared here in our own country. Is that too much to friggin' ask? Wondering why we are getting it imported and all of this nonsense. This goes deep, guys. I'm not joking. No wonder the farmers in the UK have had it up to here with what has been going on. Look at this, the Carbon Pulse. The UK government gives a New Year boost to sustainable farming scheme to onboard more farmers. Look at this. I can't highlight this, but this is what we're going to read, this section here. The development comes in the same month as the new mandated biodiversity net gain (BNG) requirements are expected to come into play for developers in England, who will need to ensure a 10% improvement in biodiversity on the sites they develop, or to produce BNG credits equivalent to that impact from land elsewhere, opening up a big opportunity for England's farming sector to earn BNG credit revenue. Now, basically what that is saying is they are telling farmers that they have to give up more of their farmland over to nature and the wildlife and the bugs. Okay, so what you're looking at is less and less amounts of space, and it's going to grow less and less amounts of food. It doesn't take a genius to understand that. So we read on. I'm not joking, people. This is crazy. It's blowing up all over X right now. Jeremy Clarkson has basically said good luck to all of those in France protesting. Protesting farmers camped out at barricades around Paris on Tuesday. It is kicking off in France right now, using tractors and mounds of hay to block highways leading to the French capital. Listen to this, which is set to host the Olympics in 6 months. Now, the French authorities are absolutely furious and fuming about all of these protests because they want Paris, especially, to be all nice and clean and ready and tidy to host the Olympics this year. We've already talked about loads of things are going to be kicking off in and around the time the Paris Olympics starts, July into August. So watch this space. It is going to get really hot over in France. What else have we been digging up? Scarecrow protest outside Parliament ahead of grocery supply chain debate. Did you know about this? A protest by dozens of scarecrows outside Parliament on Monday comes as MPs are set to debate reforms to the grocery supply chain after more than 110,000 people signed a petition pressing the government to overhaul the grocery supply code practice. Basically, the farmers need and deserve, in my opinion, more money and more rights to just grow food to keep us all alive, basically. So we are going to look finally at this. This is very interesting, and I'm going to put all links below this video to get on board with this. And I want to show you this, which is over on X. No farmers, no food. I'm following. It's got 41,000 followers. Let's get that number to skyrocket. Share this link because this X page is unbelievable. We need to give these guys full support. There are farmers struggling to make ends meet all over the UK, and quite frankly, according to this guy and many others, lots of them are going to be walking away from farming this year. This is a very good thing. It basically explains what's going on. Okay, I want you to watch. Can you see what's going on here? So on the left is retail, and on the right is the big player. Now, supermarkets and farmers, basically, this is what's been going on. Now, if you watch what's going on here and see what's happening, all of a sudden, look, there's nothing left. There's no other choice. Guess what's going to happen to the price when there's no other choice? That's exactly what we're seeing with the increase in prices with UK grown produce here in the UK. The farmers are getting diddly squat and the supermarkets are making a fortune. And I mean a fortune. There he goes, Jeremy Clarkson, currently living over in the Cotswolds. French farmers, I bet no one has ever said this before, but good luck coming from England. Absolutely. We absolutely stand by all of the farming problems which is going on across Europe and all over the UK. This is growing, and expect to see this sort of thing here in the UK very shortly. Don't forget, all of the links you're going to need to look at, which I've talked about so far, are all underneath this video. And we are going to be doing a live stream directly after this video talking about what can we do? How do we get involved? Because if we don't start making a stand now, guess what? There's hardly going to be any food grown here in the UK for British citizens. It's going to be imported. And whilst it's imported, you've got prices, supply chain issues. We've already got that stuff going on in the Red Sea, which is absolutely skyrocketing anything coming out of China. So when that supply chain starts to get ruined, who's with me? Do you think that the UK should be able to self-sustain itself without any imports pretty much from anywhere else? That's what I want from this country. What do you want? Let me know in the comment section. Don't forget, please share this video because I am being shadow banned because I'm speaking the truth. And yes, I'm over the target. This stuff is coming down the pipe real soon here in the UK. And is it being talked about in the mainstream media over here? No. So get this shared. Share the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And don't forget, every Friday 8 p.m. there is a live stream on this channel. So if your notification does not work, try to remember, maybe set an alarm on your phone. You don't want to miss it. You will need to be subscribed to take part in the live streams. Okay, you guys take care. Thanks for watching. Stay funky.